Go.
She's called quiet on the set.
Anyway, yeah, quiet on the set.
So part 2. Anyway, upon further inspection of this and testing it, really testing it, dropping it, hitting it, racking it, all that kind of stuff, there's something interesting that presented itself. So Brandon comes in really close here. And I'm doing it this way so you can see it. When I manipulate this and put it back like this, you can see that this slide is barely catching the edge of this slide lock. This is the one that's in there. I didn't replace it now, remember. So if I was to grab something as simple as a tool like this and just put the smallest bit of pressure there, did you guys see that?
Yeah.
So look how even sitting there, that thing is hanging way the hell ass out. All right, which is just, that's a problem. So once again, I'm going to do it so you can see. Oh, see? So basically, I had to build something. I had to change some things that were, that's the thing, for this particular gun. All right, and this is what you have to remember. Even though these are production guns, there are variances, and we're starting to see that right here. So with this particular gun, I decided to, and I've done this, I did this already off camera, so I had to actually take a maybe it is your luck, because this thing is actually, I'm gonna pop it. I always try to get it out without popping the top pin out, or the first pin as they call it, and usually fails miserably. So all right, so what I did was I put this in an arbor press, and incrementally, and you can see the difference, I closed the gap right there. That's what I'm having to do with this weapon. Now, I can't close it, and after doing it over and over and over again, even when this pops up in the air, there's going to be a change in this space. So I had to make it just a little bit snug right here and rely on the fact that the gun is going to break it in. And we're going to keep an eye on it here. I advised him not to use this as carry weapon for a minute. All right. And so basically we have to make sure that this is going to, just going to run it today, run the shit out of it today, because he's training. So make sure that this is actually going to do what we want it to do. So for the math of it all, and for the all intents and purposes, after we tested it, it's working fine. But that on the bench and that, after 1,000 rounds are two different things. So I'm going to reinstall this now. Another thing I did was I super checked, the angles. The very first thing I said on the video was to check those right angles on the slide and check those right angles on the mag catch itself. Slide catch itself. All right, so now we're back in. Everything's seated. That's another thing. He was using that aftermarket TIN fit. We got rid of that just to. I didn't want it. I didn't want it in there. Okay, that's just how I am about that kind of aftermarket stuff. So the other thing I had to do is and you can see how this right here, like if you really close up there, Brandon, if you were able to see this, there's a little round spot right there. So this angle right here is not a right angle. You're having a rounded area right there. So you do not have a square. It's like squared on this side, but rounded on this side, if you guys are following me. Okay? That's a problem too. So I did the best I could to get this with a bastard file and a diamond file to get this squared off again. Once we put this back together, you can see it's grabbing, and it has a lot, it's not moving now, okay? So basically, it's not sticking out as far, and if I pry it if I touch it like this with this, it's not coming out. So for bench testing, it is working out the way I want it to work out. Now, once again, like I said, bench test and a live fire test are two totally different things. So, it feels really solid to me. The spring tension is there. It has a different feel to it. But once again, after we shut off the video last time and I started putting all this stuff back together, and I just rack. It started doing it again, and I was just like, oh, what the heck? And so, you know, once again, you have to go through these comparative diagnoses to diagnostics, you know, to see what the heck is going on with this, since we just replaced just about everything. So beyond replacing things need modified for this frame. And as you can see, there's a lot of things going on with this. You know, I know, you know, there's the Gucci Glock mentality, and a lot of these Gucci Glocks do run rather well because they're done by reputable companies. Sometimes, not so much. But, you know, once again, you have to keep an eye on your weapon. You have to keep an eye on all this stuff and continuously do maintenance, continuously make sure, and you know, that things are functioning properly. And like, you know, there's a lot of guys, like, you have to train with these things. That's the only way you're going to suss this stuff out. I just got some you know, shield mags. I was really excited to get them for my, you know, my 43X, and I had the hardest time with them. You know what I mean? Thank God I just didn't take it for granted, because I know better. Just put a bunch of defensive ammunition in them and go walking around the streets. Like, I literally had to assess what was going on. Was it the ammo? I shot a bunch of different ammo. It's still, I'm not saying anything against the shield mags right now. I just have to, for this particular gun and for what I was doing, I haven't had a chance to get back out there. That was only on Monday to run and you know, have a little notebook of everything written down. Just like you see, this is a process. It's all a process. So once I put those mags through my process, I can make an educated choice on whether I want to carry 15 rounds in a 43X, or do I want to go back to my 19, or what do I want to do? You know what I mean? So, and that only comes through practice, application, maintenance, all that kind of stuff. So I thought it was really important to come back and, you know, fire these videos back up so you guys can actually see that it was stacking tolerant. It was a combination of all this stuff. Even with all the parts we changed, there was still an issue. And beyond that, for this particular frame, I had to modify some things to get it running. And honestly, we'll do a follow-up on this, and I'll let you know if it holds. You know, because if not, I'm going to suggest that he fucking just throw this gun in a dumpster, because that's literally what should happen to something like this. You don't want to risk, even though it looks cool, you just don't want to risk it, man. You don't want to, or just make it a dedicated range gun. You know what I mean? Just for practicing manipulation, practicing malfunctions. That's what this would be good for. Yeah, don't throw it away. Use it to practice malfunctions, because they will occur. Anyway, all right, so I'm not going to give the lengthy sign off. I'm just going to say, Johnny Glock, take care. We'll see you guys.